And over 25 years and more, Prabhu has been serving in the ISKCON society, completely dedicated. He is actually currently doing many wonderful services. He's a trustee of the Institute of Science and Spirituality. He's the trustee of Annamrit Foundation, which serves almost 15 lakh midday meals to children every day. He's a co-director of ISKCON Resolve India. Also,
along with Acharya Ratnam Prabhu.
Along with Acharya Prabhu. And apart from his managerial and administrative services, he's a very deep scholar and preacher of Krishna consciousness. In IIT Mandi, he's a faculty teaching Vedanta to the students. He's teaching Bhagavad Gita to doctors in AIMS in Delhi. To students at IIT Delhi, he's a regular speaker. At Bhagavad Mahavidyalaya in Vrindavan, he's a regular speaker. He's a faculty for ISKCON leadership courses. He's also a sannyas candidate shortly. Prabhuji will be leading the world and traveling all over. He's already traveling and sharing the message of Srila Prabhupada. But I've seen Prabhuji is gets along with all the devotees and makes everyone so enlivened in their Krishna consciousness. Externally, he has certain this thing, but if you personally associate, so much sense of humor, and through humor teaching very profound wisdom and learning for brahmacharis and for all the devotees. So it's a joy to have his association, to hear from him and also to associate with him. So on this auspicious day of Sri Nityananda Trayodashi, we are blessed to hear from him. So let's welcome him to ISKCON New Town, Srila Prabhupada's birthplace, Calcutta, by loudly chanting 3 times, Haribol! 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 Rishi Kumar Prabhu ki.
Okay, class over, na? So we'll sing this very famous bhajan by Narottam Das Thakur. Today we'll have a little bit of Sangeet Mai Katha. Little bit, we'll throw some bhajans in, so don't get up. Be there. Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Sushitala Nitai Pada Kamala Je chaya jagata judai Je chaya jagata judai He no nitai bine bhai Radha Krishna paite nai Dridha kori dharo Nitair pai Dridha kori dharo Nitair pai Se sambandha nahi jar Brutha janma gelo tar Se pashu bada durachar Nitai na bolilo mukhe Majilo সংসারা সুখে বিদ্যাকুলে কি করিবে তা বিদ্যাকুলে কি করিবে তা অহংকারে মত হইয়া নিতাই পদ পসারিয়া অসত্যের সত্য করি মানি নিতাইর করুণা হবে ব্রজে রাধা কৃষ্ণ পাবে ধরণী তাই চরণ দুখানি ধরণী তাই চরণ দুখানি নিতাই চরণ সত্য তাহার সেবক নিত্য নিতাই পদ সদা করো আশা নিতাই পদ সদা করো আশা নরতম বড় দুঃখী নিতাই মরে করো সুখী রাখো রাঙ্গা চরণের পাশা রাখো রাঙ্গা চরণের পাশা জয় জয় শ্রী চৈতন্য জয় নিত্যানন্দ জয় জয় শ্রী চৈতন্য জয় নিত্যানন্দ জয় জয় শ্রী চৈতন্য জয় নিত্যানন্দ जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Nitai Gaur Sitanath Premanande. That was to just get the garland. I stopped. Once in Delhi, there's a brahmachari who started making this huludwani. So then we have to tell him that no, it's very inauspicious. The Matajis do it, it is fine. So now we understand. Unni ki chalti hai hamesha. Chalti to mataon ki hai. This is the land of Mother Durga. So mataon ki chalti hai. But at the same time, we understand that this is a place where Nityananda Prabhu personally came. What was the place here before? Pathargarh. So that this place is the Dham, is a Dham. Now this, yesterday I was having a chat with Acharya Prabhu and we realized that he was telling me that Nitya Gauranga were here, but in their manifest form they are now appearing in New Town. New Town, new form. So it's all mercy of Abhay, therefore Abhay Tirtha, Abhay Charana in the Prabhupads. So we're very fortunate that we have assembled here. Om Namo Bhagavate Gaurachandraya. Om Namo Bhagavate Gaurachandraya. Om Namo Bhagavate Gaurachandraya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanachalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakata Bhakyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Udapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangcha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Desha Tarane. Hare Krishna. Very special day, very auspicious day, when the Supreme Lord in his form of Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Prabhu appeared at Ekachakra, a historical place where the Pandavas were also there. You can still see the famous earring, right, of Kundal of the Supreme Lord there. When you go on our Mayapur Parikrama, I don't think devotees in Kolkata go for Navdeep Mandal Parikrama. You go. I thought you're so busy taking care of other people's visits to Kolkata and sending them to Navdeep Dham, that generally people don't get the time to go to Navdeep Dham. Like Till the time my spiritual master's Samadhi came up in Vrindavan, I used to visit Vrindavan only once in 6 months, and it's 135 kilometers from Delhi. So sometimes, but when people come to Delhi, we used to facilitate them to go to Vrindavan. So I was thinking like that, of course, but mothers are saying that they also visit Navdeep Mandal. You do parikrama? अतएव श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य गोसाई सर्व अवतार लीला करी सबार दिखाई. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has exhibited wonderful pastimes in all his various incarnations. अदपि हसी लीला करे गोराई कोन कोन भगवान देखि बारे पाई. Even now he is performing those pastimes, but very few fortunate people can see them. Kono kono bhagyavan dekhi bare paye. Not everybody can see them. And one such person would actually see those pastimes was Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. And that's the reason he could spread Gauravani. To spread Gauravani, you need to know Gauravani. To need Gauravani, you need to be in touch with Gaura. If you notice Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, even before it gets into the story of Bhagavatam or the legend of Bhagavatam or the narrations of Bhagavatam, he gives more than 50 pages of the life and sketch of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is the person Bhagavata before the Grantha Bhagavata. Please remember, Srila Prabhupada did not even complete 10th canto beyond 13th chapter, but he made it a point to complete Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita because he knew only he could actually do that. Maybe there were capable devotees, but Prabhupada didn't leave it to chance. And on a war footing, you remember how the way this Chaitanya Charitamrita was completed. Why? Because he was very, very keen that we should all get access to this wonderful scripture or literature that is Chaitanya Charitamrita. There is a very important point that I just read in this shloka that Nitayar Karuna Habe Braje Radha Krishna Pabe Dharanita Charana Dukhani. So therefore we must firmly grasp the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Why? Because without Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, or only with Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, can we actually receive the lotus feet of Shri Radha Krishna. And we are Gaudiyas. Vaishnavas are followers of Vishnu. Karshnayas are followers of Krishna. Gaudiyas are followers of Radharani. That's what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada says. So in order for us to get the pleasure of the association of the lotus feet of Shri Radha Krishna, we will need necessarily to clasp tightly the lotus feet of Sriman Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu is Adi Guru. So the spiritual master, therefore, is the root, he is the Adi Guru and is representative. I once heard in Srila Vrindavan during Srila Prabhupada's disappearance that Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj was glorifying Srila Prabhupada and said that he is actually Nityananda Avesh. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada said even Ramanujacharya, whose disappearance was recently celebrated, even he is Nityananda Avesh. That means the Guru Tattva is non-different. All of them are Nityananda Avesh. The Adi Guru has invested in them the potency to deliver and connect to the Supreme Lord. So, how does that happen? Vishaya Chadiya, when the mind is Shuddha Hobeman, then we can get into Vrindavan. And how does that happen? That happens by Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. They say that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatar, Moshama Patita Prabhu Na Paivya. Or Jyotidaya Na Koribe Patita Dekhiya, Patita Pavana Nama Kishira Lagiya. Because we want to attract the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we don't just pose ourselves. When Narottam Das Thakur says, Mo Sama Patita Prabhu, it is not like he's pretending. Okay, let me show them that I'm Patita. No, it's not like that. He is naturally so. I remember one devotee in Chandigarh long back was sitting in some senior Vaishnava's class, and he said, Prabhuji, I am the most fallen. So he said, oh, you've taken the position of Narottam Das Thakur. So that was the response. So like Srila Prabhupada said, you are never the most in anything. But Srila Narottam Das Thakur or all these Vaishnavas, they consider themselves the most fallen. Because it's like a student who gets 98 out of 100 and is sitting in one corner and crying. Do you understand that concept? Parents say, you got 98 out of 100, why again? I wanted 100, but I'm getting 98. So their standards that the Acharya set for themselves are so high that they consider themselves as inadequate, incompetent, or insufficient in their devotion. Which is why it is difficult for Uttamadhikaris to preach, because they consider everybody else as devotees except themselves. And Nityananda Prabhu is Kapata Pavan, not just Patita Pavan. So that is why we have a greater hope through that department. Like Sri Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada was told how Chota Haridas was rejected by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the context was being brought in as to how is it that Srila Prabhupada, how will he deal with such people who are in a fallen condition? So Prabhupada said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can do as he pleases. Which means Srila Prabhupada is most merciful. He can forgive even those whom Mahaprabhu doesn't forgive. And that is why Nityananda Prabhu is the Adi Guru, the original Guru Tattva. The spiritual master is most merciful. He can forgive even the unforgivable. We don't need to look for examples, just need to look within. Do we deserve any kind of opportunity to be even in the association of devotees is a question we need to ask ourselves. It's Srila Prabhupada's mercy that we are here. Jai Rupa Nityananda Ananta Prakasha Shri Bhave Koi Moi Chaitanya Radasa. Nityananda Prabhu has also unlimited incarnations. He is the form. Sheshasya Yasyamsa Kalasa Nityananda Ramakyam Nityananda Andakya Ramadi Sharanam Mamastu. I would have wanted Kushal Behari Prabhu to speak first. I would have wanted to study a bit more, but then I suddenly realized that it's now all dressed up and nowhere to go. What is the use of studying and not coming for class? So I'll just run. So Sankarshana Karana Toyashayi Garbhodashayi Cha Payobdishayi. Karana Toyashayi is Karana Sagara. Mahavishnu, he wrote. Karana Shayi is Karanarnava Shayi. Yakaranarnava Jaleb. That Karanotaka Shayi. Karana Toya Shayi. Then Garbhoda Shayi, which is Garbhodaka Shayi Vishnu. And Shiroda Payobdi Shayi. Paya means milk. Payas means milk. Shira means also milk. So Shirodaka Shayi Vishnu. The three of them. All these three Vishnus. And Seshasya Yasyamsagala. Shesha is also, there are 5 forms that are given by Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj, Krishnadas Kaviraj about Balaram, which is Mahasankarshana or Mula Sankarshana, then Karanodakashayi, Garbhodakashayi, Shirodakashayi, and Shesha. These 5 forms are given, the eternal forms. They are all expansions of Balaram, the original. Sheshascha Yasya Amsha Kala Sa Nitya. Nityananda Akya Ramati Sharanam Mamastu. So this Nityananda Ram is the person who's Shesha. Shesha is, one meaning of Shesha is that which is left. Balance or extra, additional. So everything other than the Supreme Lord is him, because he is in the form of service to the Supreme Lord. In his service to the Supreme Lord, he serves him in all the various mellows. Shesha is the expansion, Shaktiavash avatar of the Supreme Lord also for the Bhudharana Shakti, because he bears the multiple planets on his hoods, multiple hoods. And he also uses, it's not like you have so much burdened by your duties that you cannot glorify Krishna. Classic example is Shesha. He's carrying all the universes on his hoods, but still is glorifying the Supreme Lord unendingly. Ananta is been unendingly glorifying for Anadikala, he has been glorifying. So this is an example that we have to learn from in terms of service attitude. It's not like you're getting so engrossed with your services that you're not able to find a way. You're also here, Arun Prabhu. So, you guys are doing some business together, Bridge, or how is it that you guys ended up in Kolkata together? He's also here. Huh? Thought so. Okay, good. These are my old friends from Gurugram where I used to preach. Bridge was my secretary when I was in Gurugram. Bridge Mall. Name sounds Bridge Mall, so you may think he's running a chain of malls. No, his name is that. So, so therefore, what we are saying is that Nityananda is the source of all the service attitude. He is the supreme personality of servitor Godhead. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and Balarama or Nityananda is the supreme personality of servitor Godhead. Shai bhave koye mui Chaitanya das. So he calls himself a servant of Chaitanya. How? Kobe guru, kobe shaka, kobe britta lila, purve jenotina bhave, broje koilo khela. So as Lord Balaram, he played with Lord Krishna in these three different moods of Braja. Which moods? Kobe guru, kobu shaka, kobu britta lila. In all these three forms, Nityananda, as Balaram, assisted Krishna in Braja Lila. But we also know that even in the Madhurya Bhava, Balaram or Nityananda assists Krishna. How? Ananga Manjari. I knew Harshit will say that. So, Harshitwa, sun ke aap say answer. Ananga Manjari is the expansion and the sister of Srimati Radharani, but she is also, later on, she is also Mother Janava and Vasudha, Mother Janava primarily. Paruni became Vasudha and Janava is also partly Ananga Manjari. So he played sometimes. Nityananda Prabhu also therefore serves Lord Chaitanya as his guru, friend and his servant, just like Lord Balram served Krishna. Vrishahaya Krishna sane matha mathi jaya, Kabu Krishna kore tara pada samvahana. I am dreading reading Bangla in Kolkata, but anyway, you forgive me. In Delhi, you can show off this. Oh, you speak Bangla so nicely, but here I can't, Pakda jata admi. So, like a bull, Lord Balram fights with. I had a friend, Sriniket. I have a friend, Sriniket. He's a wonderful Kirtaniya. So, he was asked to lead Kirtan in Mayapur, Shriram Mayapur. And he was in Guru Puja, Dotal he sang. Sri Guru Charane Rati. After that, they came to him and told, Delhi se hai kya? He tried to put in his best Bangla pronunciation. And it wouldn't work. You'll be caught. So I tried to speak with the rickshawala in Navdeep. Started off by speaking something in Bangla. Before I could complete the sentence, he said, Delhi se hai kya? So then I gave up. But someday, by your blessings, I can learn Bangla. It's part of the endeavor. I'm hoping to learn Bangla sometime. So what it's mentioned is that Lord Balaram fights with Krishna sometimes, like a bull, like bulls fighting. Sometimes he massages the feet of Lord Krishna. You've seen that nice ISKCON painting? Krishna is lying down and Balaram is massaging his feet. And then, Apana ke bhritta kari Krishna Prabhu jane, Krishna rakala arpan apana ke mane. He himself considers himself a fragment of the plenary portion of Krishna. What? Krishna rakala, portion of the portion. It's amsagala. It's an amsagala. It's like that. He considers himself that small portion of his plenary portion. And then few other explanations are given by Krishnadas Kaviraj Pad, that how Balaram, various moods are presented. I don't want to get too much into that. After mentioning how Balaram, some pastimes are given in from Braj Leela, then it's mentioned a very famous verse. You can all repeat after me. Ekala Ishara Krishna Arasa Bhabrita Jara Jaiche Na Jaiche Taiche Kore Nritya. So Lord Krishna is alone the supreme controller. Ekala Ishvara Krishna, only supreme controller. All others are his servants, are Shabhibrita. And what happens? Jare Jaiche Nachai. As he makes them dance, they dance. Like Srila Prabhupada praying that nachao, nachao. Like he prays to the Lord to make him dance. So similarly, Ei Mata Chaitanya Gosai Ei Mata Chaitanya Gosai Ekale Ishvara Arasabha Parishad Kehava Kinkara. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu similarly Ishvara and all other associates of him are servants. Then he says, Guru Varga Nityananda Advaita Acharya Sivasadi Arajata Lagu Shama Aja Sabe Parishada Sabe Lila Rasahai Sabalaya Nija Karja Shade Guru Rai Shade Guru Rai. So the many other elders like Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur, many other devotees, some are his juniors, some are his equals, some are his seniors. They are all his associates. And what is the purpose of these associates? Lila Rasahai. They want to help the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sabe Lila Rasahai. And Nija Karya Sadhe Gaurarai. And through them, the Supreme Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fulfills his aims. Like Srila Bhakti Tirth Maharaj used to pray every time before going out to distribute books to the libraries and to meet the big people. He would pray to the Supreme Lord to make him an instrument. He would pray to Prabhupada and the Supreme Lord, please make me an instrument of my spiritual master. So that's the mood. All these Vaishnavas are with the mood of being instruments of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Advaita Acharya Nityananda Doi Anga Dui Janalaya Prabhu Jata Kichuranga, which is Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya. They are plenary parts, Dui Anga. They are plenary parts of the Lord. There is principal associate, Dvijana Laya Prabhur Jata Kichuranga. So, with these two people, the Supreme Lord performs many pastimes together. And I thought maybe I will read one such pastime. Would you like to hear? So, you know, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after his sannyas grahana lila, he obtained a sannyas. Who is anybody to give him sannyas? He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he gave the mantra to his own guru and Keshava Bharati in his ear. He gave the Vaishnava interpretation of the Mahavakya, so-called Mahavakya Tattvamasi, gave in his ear. And later on, he got the sannyas mantra from him. So his initiated disciple initiated him. And there is nothing great about it. You know, because he is the same as Lakshmana and Balaram. So was Ramanuja. When Goshtipurna told him to not explain the meanings of Ashtakshari, secret mantras, he went to the top of Tirugoshti or Goshtipura, which means the place where the demigod sat down to perform Ishtagoshti. How do we kill Hiranyakashipu? That is why it's called Goshtipura. So they went there, and that place, top of the temple, he shouted out the meaning of the Ashtakshari. So then Goshtipurna naturally asked him, you know the outcome, right? You're going to go to hell, your head is going to break into pieces. He said, what's the problem? If I am able to deliver hundreds of millions of conditioned souls, why not? What's the harm if I go back, if I go to hell? So this is the mode of the acharyas. And very similarly, Nityananda Prabhu, who was accompanying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after the sannyas Leela, the few other devotees, they were accompanying him, and eventually it was just Nityananda Prabhu, whom you know, he broke his danda. Nityananda Prabhu broke the sannyas danda of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are many purports given by acharyas for why he broke the danda, but I am not going to get into it because I have, for my limited time of 1 hour 45 minutes. You know, it happened last Gaura Purnima. I was doing Gaur Katha in a place called Faridabad, which comes in my zone. So the temple president, my friend, is my friend Gopeshwar Prabhu. So I asked him, so till what time should I go on? So he said, till evening. So then he said that, no, 12 o'clock. Actually, he didn't mean it. He was just generally joking. But he didn't realize I continued. I continued and I tried fitting in various elements, and as the lecture went on, finally he had to come in and fold his palms. I didn't really mean it when I said 12 o'clock. So today is a very unique day. I want to take a lot of your time, but there is also a wonderful speaker with whom, from whom I want to hear as well, hopefully. So we know that Nityananda Prabhu broke the danda, and then Mahaprabhu was Jai Shri Nitai Gauranga Bhagavan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. By the way, there is Nitai Pada Kamala, in case. Who made this? Who was instrumental in preparing this? Any devotee here? Who? Abhiram Gopal Prabhu. Naturally, Abhiram Gopal has to. Okay, good. So Nityananda Prabhu had his Dvadasha Gopalas from who were originally Balram's associates. So after that, he had already sent a message to Nityananda Prabhu. While doing this, he had already sent a message to Advaita Acharya to come with his boat, because he told him that this is the Yamuna. And rather, Mahaprabhu thought it was Yamuna and jumped into the Yamuna. He chanted the Yamuna Prana Mantra also before he took Snan. But it's actually Ganga that he was taking bath in. But then later on, Nityananda Prabhu made him understand, you told me just, this is Radhadesh, this place, Ganga doesn't flow. He can speak a thing or two because he appeared in Radhadesh. Ekachakra comes in Radhadesh. So there, this side, it's actually the Yamuna. So it is technically correct. It's like like management students. If you ask them some question, what is the first answer they give? Anybody knows? It depends. So Nityananda Prabhu, they gave that kind of an answer. And then suddenly, while Mahaprabhu was doing this, then all of a sudden he came. Advaita Acharya came, rowing his boat, and he had even fresh set of dry clothes for him. So it's mentioned here that first he was en route to Vrindavan. So with him went Nityananda, Acharya Ratna, and Mukunda. Prabhu Pache Tino Korena Gaman. These three people went with the Supreme Lord. Who are the three people? Nityananda Prabhu, Acharya Ratna, and Mukunda. So then it is mentioned that when he passed through Radhadesh, it's mentioned, Jai Jai Prabhu Deke Shai Shai Loka Prema Veshe Hari Bole Khande Dukha To Shoka. So their material existence was completely diminished. All the people saw him and they said, Hari Bol! Yeah, what noise? Hari Bol! Good. Previous one was horrible. This one was Hari Bol. So they all were ecstatic. And then what happened? Gopabala ka Shaba Prabhu ke dekhiya Hari Hari boli dake ucha kariya. They all said Hari Hari. This one was better. So then Shunita Shabara Nikata Gela Gaura Hari Bola Shabar Shire Hasta Dhari. No, I can't do that. He kept his hand on their heads to all of them. All the cowherd boys who were there, they were all saying Hari Hari. Tasaba Rastuti Kore Tomara Bhagyavan Kritartha Korile Mora Shunana Harinam. He felt very successful because they chanted the holy name of Hari. They made him hear Hari. I mean, he's Hari himself. And he made them chant Hari and they made him hear Hari. So he considered them very fortunate and he considered himself fortunate. Although he is the one who provides all fortune. Because Bhuvana Mangala Tumi Bhuvanerapati. That is what he is. He provides the real good fortune. That is why Bhakti, one of the symptoms of Bhakti is Shubhada. It provides auspiciousness. That is why we, that thing called Mangala Arati at 4:30. How many of you come daily? So in some bases in Delhi, they do Mangalarati at 6:30 or 6 o'clock. because they think there will be no time for japa. So they call them first and make them chant, and then do Mangalarti at 5:36. So that is also practical if you are staying away too far from the temple. How many of you stay within 5 kilometers of the temple? Okay, so that's the list of people who will come for Mangalarti daily now. Okay. On Nityananda Trayodashi, we have a camera that has recorded your presence. So you'll all come for Mangalarti. No such thing, but please try. Coming for Mangalarti is a great way of connecting to the Supreme Lord, because it bestows auspiciousness. Very, 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 very auspicious. And so therefore, it is mentioned that Guptete Shabaka Ani Thakur Nityananda Shikaila Shabakare Kariya Prabandha. Then he told them, Nityananda Prabhu called them quietly, told them separately. What did he tell them? He says, Vrindavana Patha Prabhu Puche na tomare Ganga Tira Patha Tobe Dhekai Hatare. Showing the path of Ganga. If he asks you the path to Vrindavan, because he is Avadut, sometimes Mahaprabhu may not trust him also. So he may ask you guys. So if he asks you guys, what should you do? This is the path to Vrindavan. But show him the path on the bank of Ganges. So, like Srila Bhakti Damodar Maharaj, my sannyas guru, he says, Yamuna Maya ki jai, Ganges Maya ki jai. This unique way of saying. So, Tabe Prabhu Puchile Anshuna Shishugon. He's asking the children. What's he asking? Kaha deki kon path hai? Job of Vrindavan. Please, job of Vrindavan. How do I go to Vrindavan? He asked them. Shishu Shaba Ganga Tira Patha Dekaila Shai Pate Aveshe Prabhu Gamana Karila. With a lot of ecstasy, he followed the path shown by these boys. The boss followed the boys. So, and then what is mentioned here? Acharya Ratnere Kahe Nityananda Gosai. Shigra jao tumi Advaita Acharya Rathai. He sent him to Acharya Ratna was sent to. Acharya Ratna is the point I'm trying to make. So this shloka is meant for ISKCON Newtown, Kolkata. So Acharya Ratna was sent to Advaita Acharya's place to get him. And then Prabhulaya Jaba Ami Tahara Mandire Savadhane Rohena Jena Nokala Jatire. Advaita Acharya should carefully stay there on the shore. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I will take him to the banks of Shantipur. It's called Shantipur, but it put Mahaprabhu in so much anxiety. Because he wanted to go to Vrindavan. So therefore, then he says, Tabe Nabadibe Tumi Koriyo Gaman Sachi Sahalaya Aisha Shaba Bhakta. And you go and get to Navdeep, go to Navdeep and get Sachimata and all the other devotees. Conspiracy, huh? Ye Krishna Bhaja Shai Bodo Chatur. But he is Balaram, Adi Guru. He makes others do bhajan. So what do we tell him? How much intelligence will he have? And then next, it is mentioned that he asked Nityananda Prabhu, where are you going? Shripad koi tomar sange jabo Vrindavan. I am coming with you to Vrindavan. Nityananda Prabhu is telling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then he said, Prabhu koi kota dure ache Vrindavan. Teho kohen koroje Jamuna darshan. See, this is Jamuna. Where is Vrindavan? See, this is Jamuna. You're already here. And then, Eta bole anila tare Ganga sanidhane Avesha Prabhu rahale Ganga re Jamuna jane. So he thought it was Yamuna, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was brought next to Ganga. He accepted Yamuna in complete ecstasy. He accepted Ganga as Yamuna. And then he says, oh, how fortunate I am. I have seen Yamuna. Aho bhagya Jamuna re painu darshan. Eta bole Jamuna ra korena stavan. He started glorifying Yamuna. There is, I don't know if it is Yamuna Ashtaka. This is from, this verse is recorded in Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak by Kavi Karnapura. This is wonderful shloka. Chidananda Bano Sadananda Suno Paraprema Patri Drava Brahma Gatri Aghanam Lavitri Jagakshema Dhatri Pavitri Kriyano Vapurmitra Putri. This is a shloka for Mother Yamuna. That was there. And Eta boli namaskari koila Ganga Snan. Eka copy nahi Ditiya Paridan. He had nothing else. He had no second garment. But he didn't think that, no, do I have change of clothes? Do I have my tilak kit? Nothing, he didn't have to worry. Of course, for ISKCON Brahmachari, there are only 2 rooms that are important. A place where they can get their 6 hours sleep and a place where they can take bath. Take bath obviously comes with other additions. So, at least we have one change of dress when we travel, right? Mostly. I remember traveling to South America with just hand baggage, not cabin bag, because I was scared where I will lose my bag. So I took a suitcase and went with that. So, couple of dresses, 2-3 dresses. Technically speaking, brahmacharis can manage with that, right? Because saffron mein jaldi ganda dikhta nahi hai. Even if you wash like that, pani mein do okay, it doesn't make a big difference. It's one of the important reasons I took saffron. It's an internal reason. Because my assistants used to really complain, your kurtas are always yellow because dal would fall, sabji would fall. And even if I would not spill dal, the person serving would make it fall. It would happen like that. So this is the internal reason. Please don't record this. So then anyway, Mahaprabhu was there and the point was he never had a change of dress. आगे आचार्य आशीरइला नमस्कार करी आचार्य देखी बोले प्रभु माने संशय करी. He was worried, what is wrong? How did you end up here? Mahaprabhu was asking Advaita Acharya, how did you end up here? So still he asked, Tumita Acharya Gosai the kena aila ami Vrindavane tumi ke mata janila. How did you know that I have been Vrindavan? Poor Mahaprabhu. Huh? How did you know Vrindavan? And he says, आचार्य का है तुम्ही जहां से वृंदावन इतना खेलते हैं ना सिद्धांत के साथ खेलते हैं. तो बोल रहे हैं ISKCON devotees are all like that and they play with philosophy. And he says मोरा भाग्य गंगा तेरे तुम्हारा आगमन. It's because of you, it's my good fortune you come by Ganga, this side of Ganga. So this is where you are. And then he says प्रभु का है नित्यानंदा आमारे वंचिला. He cheated me. Ganga ke aniya more Yamuna kahila. He brought me to the brink of Ganges and told that this is Yamuna. He cheated me, Vanchila. And then it is mentioned that Acharya ka hai mitya na hai Sripada vachan Yamuna te snana tumi karila ekhan. But you have actually taken bath in the river Yamuna here. See, obviously Nityananda Prabhu's Adi Guru, what he says cannot go wrong. It's the truth. So he says, Gangaya Jamuna bahe, haya ekadhara, paschime Jamuna bahe, purva Gangaya dhara. On the east is the tributary or the flow of Ganga. So you are right here. Ganga and Yamuna generally mix at Prayagraj, which is mentioned by Prabhupada in the purport. The Yamuna flows from the western side, paschime, and Ganga on the eastern side, purve. And so Mahaprabhu bathed on the western side, he actually took bath. The took bath is an ISKCON usage, by the way. Huh? I used to say took bath, and I have to take bath. So one of my friends told me, there is a word in English, it is bathe. B-A-T-H-E, that's the verb. So this is after 45 years of speaking English. ISKCON usage came in, the take bath, snan kiya, something like that. So this is the phrase. Prabhupada uses this also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bathed on the western side. But then later on the ISKCON usage comes. He took bath. So then Advaita Acharya suggested that Mahaprabhu has taken his bath and he has taken bath in Yamuna. So he has brought change of clothes for him. So he can please come. So now he says, you've been fasting continuously for 3 days. Mahaprabhu is in fasting for 3 days. Therefore he says, Aji mora gare bhika, chala more basha. And please come with me. Come to my residence. Vasa, my Vasa. Vasa means Nivasa, where I stay. Eka mushti anna moi karya chen paka. Eka mushti means, that's all. Huh? Just imagine, Mahavishnu says Eka mushti, you can imagine how much it is. Now I understand. This is all correct. Advaita says, I have got just a fistful of rice for you. And you know how much he kept before. You know that, right? So, he is also correct because Mahavishnu's one mushti is substantial. Like Srila Prabhupada says, we take 1 step towards Krishna, Krishna takes 10 steps towards us. Just imagine how big will be Krishna's steps. And if we are still not Krishna conscious, it means we have not even taken that 1 step. That is why in Ishopanishad there is mentioned, Tad dure tad vantike. Krishna is very, very far and yet very, very close. Why? Those who are connected to the Supreme Lord in devotion, he's pretty close. He's right here inside. Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam. Or Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hridesha Arjuna Tishtati, depending on the level of consciousness. But those who are far, they're really far. They can't hear the Lord. He's telling them every time, surrender unto me. And we're not listening to him. So that is the understanding here that so Advaitacharya's wife, who's Advaitacharya's wife? Sita Thakurani. She had cooked so much for them. So Advaitacharya received them nicely. All the food was divided into 3 equal parts and a whole host of, I'm not reading about all the food because we are all fasting. So it's amazing stuff he has described. I just don't want to read it. And one of the important prayojanas of coming to Gaudadesh is that here on Nityananda Trayodashi they accept grains. It's a big advantage. In Delhi we do Anukalpa Prasad in most of the temples. But it's okay, in Mayapur they take grains. In Mayapur they take grains for Advaitacharya appearance also, for Nityananda appearance. Only Gaura Purnima they have Anukalpa Prasad, I think. Gaura Purnima and Jamnashtami, just two days. Narasimha Chaturdashi also, I think, those 3 days they keep. But at least in Greater Delhi region, which is my zone, it's something that was started by Srila Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. We take Anukalpa Prasad on Ekadashi Prasad on Vishnu Tattva appearance. But I don't think there is something called Ekadashi Prasad. There's no such thing. Ekadashi means there should be no Prasad. Srila Radhagovind Goswami Maharaj says that the best is Nirjala. If you can't do Nirjala, you do Sajala. If you can't do Sajala, you do Sarasa. You can't do Sarasa, please let me complete. She's out of syllabus Mataji. She knows everything before. Front bencher Mataji. So, and then Sabhala. If you can't get Sarasa, you do Sabhala. ये एकादशी प्रसाद क्या होता है? वो भी एकादशी feast. If you go to Mayapur, you will get Ekadashi pizza. So, Krishna consciousness, who said there is any austerity in Krishna consciousness? The only austerity in Krishna consciousness is the prasad. You get so much of it. That is the austerity. But here again, so much wonderful items were cooked by Mother Sita Thakurani. Sita Thakurani has a very special relationship with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because even when he appeared, she came with many things, including tiger nails and all this very special gifts, durba grass and gold chain and all that. She came. Mother Sachi had, when she had given birth to Nimai, Mother Sita Thakurani had also come. So very special motherly relationship. And naturally, she also knows that Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. So there are some pastimes between Sita Thakurani and Mahaprabhu also. You know how Advaitacharya was chastised by Mahaprabhu heavily. And then, Sita Thakurani had to stop him. Probably he stopped only because Sita Thakurani stopped him. It's a very special lady. She has some kind of control over Mahaprabhu, I can see, because of the motherly affection. And just like there is Sita Thakurani has motherly affection for Mahaprabhu, Srivas Thakur's good wife Malini has a motherly affection for Nityananda Prabhu. So, so Mahaprabhu told him that this is so much prasadam. Prabhu bole, eta anna nari bakhaite, sannyasira dharma nahi uchishta rakhite. It's not a system for sannyasis to leave remnants. So, the test of whether a devotee is advancing is whether he gives his remnants, right? No. The day we think that we have to give our remnants, there will be no remnants of our bhakti left. It's a very, very difficult situation. That is why, although we say Bhakta Bhukta Avashesh is very, very important. Bhakta Padatoli, Bhakta Padajal, Bhakta Bhukta Avashesheti in Mahabal. These are the 3 greatest things. They have a lot of potency. But when you receive Mahaprasadam from a devotee, it should generally be asked with permission you can take. That is what example we hear from Narad Muni's lifetime. He asked the Bhakti Vedantas whether he can take their Mahaprasad, and then he took it. Of course, it gets tricky. If you ask anybody their Mahaprasad, can you give me your Mahaprasad? He will definitely not give. So therefore, we have a system of stealing Mahaprasad. But Sannasira Alpa Chidra Sarva Loka Gai, Shukla Vastre Mashi Bindu Jaichana Lukai. Even a black spot, a slight black spot on a white cloth, it can be easily seen. Similarly, if a sannyasi does something, Alpa Chidra, even the slightest of fault, it Sarva Loka Gai, everybody will glorify that. Anyway, we like Nindanam Dosha Kirtanam, like we all like glorifying. Kalo Dosha Nide Rajan, right? So where will we find good qualities? It's very difficult. It's natural. Since you don't find good qualities, you glorify bad qualities. That's what happens. So, for a sannyasi or a sadhu, dharma stapana hetu sadhur vyavahar. Behavior of a sadhu has to establish dharma. So, Mahaprabhu is saying, no, I cannot take so much prasadam. It's just not on. And then, therefore, Acharya bole, Nila chale khao, chaue anna bara, eka bare anna khao, shata bhara. He says that 54 times a day, each time hundreds of pots of food you eat. Jai Gora, Shai Krishna, Shai Jagannath. You're eating some what? Whom are you kidding? Come on, Mahaprabhu. You eat so much. This is nothing for you. And then, Tina Janar Bhakka Pinda Tomar Eka Gras, Tara Lekhai E Anna Nahe Panchagras. So he says, in proportion to the amount of food that 3 people can eat, does not even constitute a morsel for you. Nothing. 3 people is nothing for you. So he is indirectly alluding to the Lord being the Lord. Then he says, he gave water, he supplied water to the 2 lords to wash their hands and feet and all that. And they supplied he supplied water for them to wash their hands, and both of them sat down. Hasya Lagila Due Bhojana Karite. Both of them sat. Who are both? Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. They both sat. And then suddenly, Nityananda kahe kailun tina upavas aji para na karite chilo bada as. I thought I will break my fast today. I've been fasting for 3 days. I thought I will break my fast today. I can have some nice prasadam, I thought. And then what does he say? Aji upavasa hoila acharya nimantrane ardha peta na bharibe egrashe ke anne. Even half my stomach will not be filled. I thought when Advaita Acharya invited me for prasadam, I will be able to feed myself. I've been fasting for 3 days. Now what has he given? Nothing. It won't even feed half my belly. He's saying, Nityananda Prabhu is saying, that is also not wrong. Balaram to fill half his belly. Just imagine. So there is nothing in Shastra that is Atishayokti. There's no exaggeration or hyperbole. It is all true. To the extent that we need to connect to the Supreme Lord, Yayathamam prapatyante tamstadeva bhajamiham. All of them, as they surrender unto me, I reveal myself to them. So this is up to us, how we approach Shastra. So therefore, it's mentioned here. Acharya kahe tumi ho tairthika sannasi, kabu phala mula khao, kabu upavasi. You are a mendicant. You are a sannyasi, traveling sannyasi. Sometimes you should eat roots and fruits, and sometimes you should just fast. That is your nature. That is what you should be doing. And that is what you do. Sometimes you do that. Sometimes you fast. Sometimes you take kandamul. But then, Dharidra Brahmana Ghare Je Padila Mushti Daridra Brahmana Gare Ye Paila Mushti Eka Anna Ihate Santushta Hao Chada Lobha Mana. I'm a poor Brahmana. You have come to my home. Please be satisfied with whatever little you get. Whatever you get, please give up your greedy mentality. Advaita Acharya is telling Nityananda Prabhu, give up your greedy mentality. Chada Lobha Man. Your greedy mentality. Then Nityananda Prabhu said, Nityananda bole jab kaila nimantran tata dite chaha jata kariye bhojan. Whatever it may be. You have invited me. Because you have invited me, you must supply as much as I want. That's your rule. That's the role for a grasta. Grasta has to invite devotees for prasadam. I leave that emphasis there. And then, but it's not important that a brahmachari should, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, But if you go to a house expecting Sandesh, Luchi Chini, and what is it called? Malpua, then you become Jat Gosai. You are no longer a devotee. You are not a Vaishnava. So you should not go with that kind of expectation to a house for a program. So therefore, sometimes in ISKCON, they first feed the devotees prasadam before they take them for a house program. The stomachs are full, so they won't eat again. Of course, nowadays training for brahmacharis is very, very strict. So they think 10 times before even accepting invitations. So that is there. However, here it is being said that please give up your greedy mentality. Nityananda Prabhu says, Jata kariye bhojan, tata dite cha, jata kariye bhojan. Whatever is required, so much is required, that much you have to give. Suni Nityananda katha Thakura Advaita, kahinata hare ki chupai apirita. So then, Advaita Acharya, after hearing Nityananda Prabhu, he took the opportunity. He presented some joking words and spoke to him. How did he speak? He said, Brashta avaduta tumi udara bharite sanyasala yacha bhuji brahmana dandite. You are a reject Paramahamsa. Brashta avadut. Brashta avaduta tumi. So you have accepted the renounced order. Sanyasa laicha bhuji brahmana dandite. Your business is to trouble brahmanas. You have taken sannyas just for that. So he told that to Nityananda Prabhu. And Tumi khete para dasa visha maneranna amita hakana paba kayam paba doridra brahmana. Where can I get? How do you spell kaha? It should be kaha. So Advaita Acharya accused Nityananda Prabhu, you can get 10 to 20 manas of rice. I'm a poor brahmana. How shall I get so much rice? You can eat so much. How can I give you so much rice? Advaita Acharya is joking with Nityananda Prabhu. ये पाया चमुष्टि कन्ना ताहा खाना उठा पागलामी ना करी हा ना छड़ियो जूठा. You please, whatever you have, please take it. It may be palm full of rice. Just eat it and get up. Don't show your madness. Pagalami na koriya. Don't show me your madness. And then he says, don't strew your remnants here and there. It's all indicative. Don't strew your remnants here and there means strew your remnants here and there. This is a reverse psychology. So, Ei mata hath sera se korina bhojan, ardha khaya Prabhu chadena venjan. Mahaprabhu left everything a little bit, half. Whatever you take, you leave half. And then immediately, as soon as half the vegetable will be over, Advaita Acharya will fill it. This is the secret of good prasadam seva. This is the way to serve. But when we are accepting prasadam, this is not good for us. It becomes a big problem. Then it becomes atyahara. So, anyway, so this was one interesting pastime of Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya. So, I just thought we will sing one or two bhajans also. Jai Shri Nitya Gauranga Bhagavan Ki Jai. I thought we'll sing this nice bhajan by Bhaktivinoda Thakur because Nityananda Prabhu is empowered by Mahaprabhu to preach and preach the holy name. Bola Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Karo Krishna Shika. That's his whole purpose. He's an empowered form of preaching. He's the minister for preaching in Mahaprabhu's ministry. So let's sing this bhajan. It's a very famous bhajan. Bada sukhe khabar gai, bada sukhe khabar gai. Bada sukher khabar gai, bada sukher khabar gai. Surabhi kunjete namer haat khuleche. Surabhi kunjete namer haat khuleche. Kodonitai, kodonitai. Kodonitai, kodonitai. বড় মজার কথা তাই, বড় মজার কথা তাই। শ্রদ্ধা মূলে শুদ্ধ নাম সে হাটিতে বিগায়। শ্রদ্ধা মূলে শুদ্ধ নাম সে হাটিতে বিগায়। যত ভক্ত বৃন্দাবাসী, যত ভক্ত বৃন্দাবাসী, অধিকারী দেখে নাম বেচে দর কাশি। যদি নামা কিনবে ভাই, যদি নামা কিনবে ভাই, আমার সঙ্গে চলো মহাজনের কাছে যায়। তুমি কিনবে কৃষ্ণ নাম, তুমি কিনবে কৃষ্ণ নাম। দস্তুরি লইব আমি, পূর্ণ হবে কাম। কদনিতাই, 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 কদনিতাই। বড় দয়াল নিত্যানন্দ, বড় দয়াল নিত্যানন্দ। শ্রদ্ধা মাত্র লয়ে দেন পরম আনন্দ। শ্রদ্ধা মাত্র লয়ে দেন পরম আনন্দ। কদনিতাই, 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 কদনিতাই। একবার দেখলে চোখে জল, একবার দেখে চোখে জল। ঘর বলে নিতাই দেন সকল সম্বল। ঘর বলে নিত্যানন্দ সকল সম্বল। দেন শুদ্ধ কৃষ্ণ শিকা, দেন শুদ্ধ কৃষ্ণ শিকা। জাতি ধন বিদ্যা বল না করে অপেক্ষা। জাতি ধন বিদ্যা বল না করে অপেক্ষা। কদনিতাই, 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 কদনিতাই। আমানি ছাড়ে মায়া জাল, আমানি ছাড়ে মায়া জাল। গৃহে ঠাকো বনে ঠাকো না ঠেকে জঞ্জাল। গৃহে ঠাকো বনে ঠাকো না থাকে জঞ্জাল। আর নাইকো কলির ভয়, আর নাইকো কলির ভয়। আচণ্ডালে দেন নাম নিতাই দয়াময়। আচণ্ডালে দেন নাম নিতাই দয়াময়। কদনিতাই, 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 কদনিতাই। ভক্তি বিনোদ ডাকি কয়, ভক্তি বিনোদ ডাকি কয়। निताय चरण बिना आर नहीं आश्रय, निताय चरण बिना आर नहीं आश्रय, खोद निताय, खोद निताय, खोद निताय, खोद निताय. We discussed how Nityananda Prabhu is the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. He always wants to serve the Supreme Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, it's natural for us to seek the personal association of our Master if we want to serve. Srila Prabhupada used to say how just because the mosquito also sits on the body of the spiritual master doesn't mean he's taking his association. He's just sucking his blood. So Nityananda Prabhu had the choice of staying with Mahaprabhu anywhere he wanted, because he was not just his associate and servant. Mahaprabhu also externally sometimes at least would consider him his elder, his senior. So he can put his foot down if he wants. Say that I want to stay with you in Jagannath Puri. So when it came to both accepting Grahastha Ashram and also when it came to preaching the holy names of the Lord, it's mentioned here, Shraddha Mule Shuddhanam. The only prize that he would take in distributing the holy name. This is the element of Namer Ruchi that we see in Nityananda Prabhu's life. Namer Ruchi, he distributes the holy name. That same taste that he has, which he takes the holy name in ecstasy. When he says that, when we actually say that, when you take Goranga Bolite Hobe Pulaka Sharira, who is it actually indicating? It's actually Nityananda Prabhu's mood actually. The moment you take Mahaprabhu's name, Hari Hari Bolite Nayane Babe Nira, you get water coming from the eyes. That is the standard mood of Sriman Nityananda Prabhu. He's always in ecstasy, his eyes are rolling like he's intoxicated. But there is love of Godhead. So if he wanted, he would have wanted proximity to the Supreme Lord. Like Srila Prabhupada left Vrindavan to give Vrindavan, and therefore he got Vrindavan at the end. So similarly, the mood of a preacher, a Goshtianandi, is that I may not personally get to be with the Lord of my heart. I may not be with him all the time, but my service to him is in separation. In the year, I remember in 2007, in Vrindavan, we had a big festival. Service in separation, 30 years of service in separation with Srila Prabhupada. And then in 2017, again, 40 years was celebrated. Next year, 50th year of Srila Prabhupada's disappearance will be celebrated. There are so many disciples of Srila Prabhupada who barely had association of Srila Prabhupada. But the Guru Tattva is so all-pervading, his Vani is so all-pervading that just on the basis of the words and the instructions of the spiritual master, they have sustained their life. Pradijna tava govinda name bhakta pranashyati idi samsmritya pranansho dharayamyaham. That's the mood. Just by remembering the Supreme Lord, the fact that he said the devotee will not perish, keeping that in mind, I'm keeping my life and body together, my soul and body together. That mood is a mood of a preacher to spread the names of the Lord, which is more important than being with the Lord. So Mahaprabhu sent Nityananda Prabhu on this mission to go out and preach the holy name. And this is the mood. He says that he is most merciful. Nityananda Prabhu is most merciful. It is mentioned here that Bodo Dayal Nityananda. Bodo Dayal Nityananda. He is most merciful. Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Namo Mahavadanyaya. But Mahavadanyaya was not so merciful to even Jagai Matai as much as Nityananda Prabhu was. So he is more merciful than the most merciful. More munificent than the most munificent. That is why Bodo Dayal Nityananda. What does he do? Shraddha Matra Loye, then Parama Ananda. He just takes a little bit of faith. Shraddhavan Jana hai, Shraddhavan Jana hai. Nadia Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan. What does he do? He therefore distributes the holy name. Unceasingly he distributes the holy name. So then Mahaprabhu tells Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas, Suno suno Nityananda, suno Haridas, Sarvatra Amara Agya Karaha Prakash. Please spread this message of me, my instructions of me everywhere. What is that? It's a very famous sloka. Prati gore ghare giya kara ei bhika, bola Krishna bhaja Krishna, kara Krishna shikha. So go to every house. The first door-to-door preaching program started with Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur. He asked them to go to house. For every marathon, and Srila Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj used to encourage the devotees of Delhi, NCR and other places. He would talk about this. So it's not like you want to distribute books, people will stand in queue to take your books, he would say. He would give the example of Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu, who would go house to house to preach. Some places they will receive them nicely, seat them, give them bhiksha also, and they will chant the holy name. And some places they will not allow them to come inside. Sometimes places they will tell them, you are spies, you come here to look at, do reconnaissance of our house and then come back at night and steal things. So it was like that. So this is what they were facing. If we want to really get trained in facing rejection and in preaching especially, we need the blessings of Sriman Nityananda Prabhu. Because Nityananda Prabhu is the original door-to-door preacher. So from him we get the blessings to do preaching, especially in difficult areas, difficult terrains. That is why Srila Prabhupada is Nityananda Avesh, because he preached in very, very difficult terrains where forget Krishna, people don't even think there is something called God. They see that this is the only life. And so in the purport to this famous verse, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, Bola Krishna means words which are not connected to Krishna. They are avidvad rudhi, which means they are not, when a word's vidvad rudhi, means the right meaning is realized by enlightened persons. That is Krishna. Anything, everything is connected to Krishna. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe. Vidvad rudhi is Bola Krishna. Avidvad rudhi is not with Bola Krishna. So any word, anything in this world, any name, has a meaning only if it's connected to Krishna. In the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned, anything other than Krishna and his activities is illusion. So there is, Prabhupada says in one lecture that, it just says like, she says, for an illusion, it means, sinful life means you have forgotten Krishna. It's very simple. So in any word that we say, we do any activity we don't see Krishna's presence. Then it is sinful, it is offensive, it is illusion. No problem. Little later. Mataji got the call. Mata ko bulaya hai. In North India, we say Mata ne bulaya hai. But Vaishnavi says Mata ko bulaya hai. So Krishna is our best friend. Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. Second best friend, of course, after mobile. But generally, the point is that Krishna, because he's our best friend, he's in the heart of everyone, we should increasingly try every time to connect everything to Krishna. That's the purpose. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe. So Bola Krishna means chant the name of Krishna. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur talks like that in his purport of Chaitanya Bhagavatam. So through Nityananda Prabhu, Mahaprabhu, he granted the qualification of chanting the name of Krishna. He made people chant. People who did not even have Sukriti, he made them chant. So it is Nityananda Prabhu's special mercy. Just like Srila Prabhupada was told, what piety did we have that we got a Sadguru like you? He said, you have no piety. I have given you piety. Prabhupada said. Similarly, Nityananda Prabhu bestowed piety on these people to make them chant Hare Krishna. So then, Bhaja Krishna means Chaitanya Deva, he empowered these two preachers. Who are the two preachers? Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu. to appeal to the conditioned souls to engage in the worship of Krishna. Please worship Krishna. Bolo Krishna, bhaja Krishna. So the goal, so normally what people do is they don't worship Krishna. They engage in sense enjoyment. So to make the conditioned soul who has forgotten the fact that he is manmana bhava mad bhakto mad yaji. Mad yaji means worship me, Krishna says. Who have forgotten the worship of Krishna. To make them remember the need for worship of Krishna. That is the mercy of Sriman Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur. They were both empowered. And then it's mentioned that what does this mean? It means people have given up the worship of Krishna for Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, the Shadripus. Because for these, they have given up worship of Krishna. So when Nityananda Prabhu gives them the faith that they don't have, you don't have to separately try to give up bad habits. By the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, by serving the spiritual master, we can engage in Krishna conscious activities. By engaging in Krishna conscious activities, we can gradually give up our distaste. We can develop a distaste for the material activities. Like Srila Lokanath Swami Guru Maharaj says that how you cannot stop the bad news. You can only increase the good news. So keep increasing the good news, which is why Bhaja Krishna. Keep increasing the good news. Keep just like in a container full of contaminated or muddy water. One way to make it clean is to keep pouring clean water in it. So just the mind that is contaminated, fill it with Krishna conscious thoughts, Krishna's name, pastimes, attributes, entourage, Nam, Rupa, Guna, Lila, everything. All those. You keep filling that consciousness with that. Therefore, the mind will get filled with that. And for that, you have to do these activities. Bhaja Krishna. And I remember my spiritual master once told that relationship between equals should be based on Shravanam and Kirtanam. So devotees, if you want to have meaningful relationship, all relationships can be only had in relationship with Krishna. So when glorification of Krishna happens together, Krishna Katha, Krishna Kirtan, Krishna Pujan happens in a temple community along with the association of devotees, then we become purified. That's the route to purification. Therefore, Bhaja Krishna, the ninefold process of bhakti, whatever appeals to us, do it in the association of devotees. That is Bhaja Krishna. And the third is Koro Krishna Shikha, which means any knowledge that is not related to Krishna is insignificant. Krishna alone attracts all the objects of this world. He is full of knowledge. He is capable of dictating, only he is capable of dictating that objects not related to him are fit to be renounced, which means Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe, or the other shloka, which is Vairagyam Falgu Katyate. What is Vairagyam Falgu Katyate? Prapanchikaya Buddhya Hari Sambandhi Vastuna. Out of a material consciousness, any good that is, any item, any activity that is not connected to Krishna, that thought itself is material. Because Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat. Everything is Krishna. Idam he Vishwam Bhagavan Ivetaraha. This world is not different from Krishna. Parasya Brahmana Shaktis Tataiva Magilam Jagat. It is all Krishna's energy. Everything is Krishna. It's all spiritual. This is a famous line we mention in our Discover Your Permanent Happiness or Discover Yourself courses. You can repeat after me. We are not human beings on a spiritual journey. We are spiritual beings on a human journey. So when we understand this aspect that we are spiritual and everything is spiritual, it is only how much we connect to the spiritual that determines our spirituality. Everything is spiritual. This mic is spiritual. It is used to glorify Krishna. Krishna is in everything. Krishna is not everything. But for the self-realized soul, he sees Krishna as everything. So that's very important. Koro Krishna Shikha. This is, which just means that by obtaining Krishna Shikha, all perfection is achieved. The mirror of one's mind is cleansed. The blazing forest fire of material existence is extinguished. The supreme goal of life is reached. And one realizes that Krishna Shikha is the purport of all education. When Krishna says, Matta Parataram Nanyat Kinchidasti Dhananjaya, there is nothing beyond me. When despite all that we don't have faith, Krishna tells us that Nahi Kalyanagrit Kasya Durgatim Tata Gachyati. Parthanaivaha Namutra Vinasastasya Vidate. Please don't think that this path is a problem. One who does good is never overcome by evil. Please feel confident. What you're doing is fine. You're in the right place. You are in the right ship. Guru Karnadaram, Prabhupada is the captain. We are all in the right ship. And it is therefore mentioned that after saying even Sarva Dharman Parityajya, we may say, no, Krishna, I'm not sure if my sinful reactions will be finished. I have to still suffer. He said, Ma Shucha, don't worry. In Hindi we say that hum kam bhakt hain. You know that? Bilkul kam bhakt hain. Kyunki hum kam bhakt hain. If we had a little bit more devotion, we would have faith in Krishna's words. Krishna Shikha. When Krishna says, Ma Shucha, do not fear. I am there. So, Krishnaika Sharanam is the Paribhasha Sutra, effectively, of the 26 qualities. It is the Mukhya Artha of all the 26 qualities, which is uncompromising surrender of Krishna, unalloyed surrender of Krishna, undeviated surrender of Krishna. That is based on Krishna Shikha. To the extent that we have allowed Krishna Shikha to transform our heart, we will take shelter of Krishna. So therefore, when we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, we say, if the mind disturbs us, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do when the mind disturbs you? Define chant loudly. I'm not talking about Newton loudly. Sorry? Yato yato nischalati, that is good. The simple principle, Bhakti Vishramba Madhav Maharaj said this in a class in Vrindavan once I heard from him. He's not on the planet, of course, now. He said, chant louder than the mind. That's the point. We chant louder than the mind. When we chant any Krishna Shikha, the idea is to chant louder than the mind. It's an alarm. Like we play an alarm, because the ear is the only organ that is awake technically when we are asleep. It's hearing things. So, of course, for some people it is not so. But in general, for some people, the only way to wake them up is Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahma Vishnu. Otherwise, it is alarms ring. So the point is sound vibration. Anavriti Shabdad, Avriti Shabdad. One of the sutras is Anavriti Shabdad. Words that, Shabdas, that can save us from Avriti. Punaravriti, from Punaravriti, to save us. This sound that liberates, this transcendental sound, this has to be louder than the sound of the mind. That is giving Krishna Shikha. We should give Krishna Shikha to ourselves every day when we are chanting in the morning. So that's why you see, they say that Susukham Kartum Avyayam, but you come to an ISKCON temple in the morning, you see japa, it is like torture and harassment, right? Somebody, so many different methodologies of chanting. So they're trying to make the mind listen. So mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo. And our Avadut Brahmana, he says the same thing. Mana param karanam amanandi samsara chakram pariharteta. So this mind stops us from accepting Krishna Shikha. And how do we get that escape velocity to get out of this environment? That comes in the form of merciful instructions of the spiritual master, who is the representative of Nityananda Prabhu. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada says only 100% subordination to the words of the spiritual master can save us from the burden of material sense enjoyment. Material sense enjoyment is a burden which we don't realize. So only 100% surrender to the words of the bona fide spiritual master can save us from that. And therefore, it is important that we hear Krishna Shikha from a bona fide spiritual master. So, therefore, Mahaprabhu tells Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu, Iha baya arena ba liba ba laiba, dina avashane ashi amare kaibo. Apart from this, Bola Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Kara Krishna. Apart from this, don't do anything. And at the end of the day, you give me a report. So the original sales director is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He gives them a target, and end of the day, they have to give him an update. They have to give him a report, daily sales report. What is the sale? From the Namahatta, you have to give the holy name. What is the price? Shraddha is only Mulya. But Mahaprabhu and Haridas Thakur are such pure entities. I'm saying entities because you don't just call them souls. They are both controllers of the universe. That's what Chaitanya Bhagavat says. One is a Gunavatara, expansion of a Gunavatara. The other is the source himself. So now, Tomara kari le bhika jena e baliba tabe ame chakra haste sabare katiba. Those who don't chant as requested by you, I will take my chakra and cut off their heads. Mahaprabhu is saying. And when you have a boss, you should have backing like this, right? If people don't buy your goods, I will kill them. Imagine your boss tells you like that. That's what Mahaprabhu is saying. Don't worry. You try your best. But in case people don't listen to you, tell me, I will kill them. But what do you mean killing them? Antare asure. The asura that is inside. Ebe nama tikna khadge. By the sharp sword of holy name. He will cut them. And those who Chedi papi dharma chadi dura dese jai, more senapati bhakta jayata thai. Those who cannot be delivered by Mahaprabhu, who wanted to give the credit to Srila Prabhupada of preaching in the Western world, his Senapati Bhakta goes and retrieves them on behalf of Nityananda Prabhu. Yeah, that when you raise a voice in ISKCON, it means we expect you to say at least Hari Bol. You see, in the morning when you say, suppose you say, today morning lecture is by Prem Swarup Prabhu. Today's morning lecture by Prem Swarup Prabhu, Hari Bol. Immediately then they say. It's the impact of sound vibration. Have you noticed that? That is why. So like, so touch your nose. Touch your shoulder. Touch your knees. I said knees. Where are you touching your So sometimes sound vibration also doesn't work. And so therefore, we need sound vibration coming from an empowered source, which is the Supreme Lord and his spiritual master. And the spiritual master is his representative. So then, Nityananda took it on his head, this instruction. And what is he said? Agya shire kar Nityananda Haridas, tata khane chalile na pathe asihas. They laughed and then they went out on the street. Then he told people, Krishna prana Krishna dana Krishna she jivan, hena Krishna bolo bhai hoy ekaman. Please, with full attention, ekaman. Chant the holy names of Krishna. Bolo Krishna. Ei mata nadiya e prati gore gore buli abedana doi jagata ishware. They went through Nadia, the streets of Nadia like this, telling people, please chant the holy name. Those days fortunately there was no Sangeetan targets. So during marathon, so you have to distribute books also, no? But you have to take the money back. To make people chant, that problem was not there. People will just chant. So here it is mentioned, both were dressed as sannyasis. Wherever they went, Nityananda Haridasa bole ei bhika, bola Krishna bhaja Krishna, kara Krishna shika. This is the only bhiksha that we want. Prati ghare, this is why they went. Just to get this bhiksha. What is that bhiksha? Bola Krishna bhaja Krishna, kara Krishna. That's all, very simple. Ei bola bali doi jana chali jai. Jehai Sujana Shai Bada Sukha Pai. Those who were very, very nice, the pious people, they were very pleased. Haridas Thakur, Nityananda Prabhu, you're here, please come. They received them nicely. They became very happy. But then, Aparu Pashu Niloka Dui Janar Mukhe, Nana Jane Nana Kotha, Kohai Nana Suke. And hearing these wonderful words from the mouth of these two great personalities, they felt very happy. Nana Jane Nana Kotha. Kahe nana suke. They were generally, these are the people, they derived various forms of pleasure by hearing these words from these two wonderful personalities. Karibo keho bola hai santoshe, keho bole dui jana khippa mantra doshe. So it just said that khipta mantra doshe, they are crazy because somebody told them wrong things. So some people said, we will do. Keho bola hai santoshe, karibo, we will do. But somebody else said, keho bole dui jana khipta mantra doshe. They both gone mad. These people are mad. There's no point in listening to them. How many of you brahmacharis have heard that at home? You have been brainwashed. It's like that. Tomara pagala hoila dushta sangha doshe. Dushta sangha. Because of dushta sangha, you're taking the names of Krishna. Just imagine. Ama shaba pagal karitaya siki say, you come to make us mad or what? Pagal banane aayo. So they're asking each person. Bhavya sabya loka shaba hoila pagal nimai pandita nashta karila sakal. So many civil and sober people, they were feeling very sad. Nimai pandita spoil all these people. हरे कृष्णा वाले सबको खराब कर देते हैं. अच्छे खासे माँ बाप का सुनते थे, अभी पता नहीं कौन गुरु आ गया बीच में. They talk like that. So Jegula Chaitanya nite napaila dwara tara badi gele matra bole mara. Some people went and people said, beat them, mara. That's all they said. They should have said Rama, it would have been good. Instead they said mara. So this is very, very sad. Keho bole edu jana kiba chor. Chala kari charchi ya bulaye ghar. They're gone on the pretext of preaching, but they're actually spies of a thief. What will they do? E mata prakatake na kari basujane ara bara ase jadi lai bodeyane. Aha. How can a gentleman act like this? We will take them to the king. So this is saying. Shuni Nityananda Haridasa hase Chaitanyara agya bole na payata rase. They were not frightened. This is nothing. Because Mahaprabhu's instructions are there. So this we should take inspiration from Nityananda Prabhu's life. That difficult services not necessarily represent the end of our devotional service, but the growth of our devotional service. Just like in a gym, you go and you lift more weights, you get more muscle. Similarly, the tougher the services that are given to us, the greater is an opportunity for us to please Krishna and the Guru Parampara. The more we advance. From adversity, we gain prosperity. This is the possibility of us taking up responsibility for Krishna. Today we should take a sankalpa before Nityananda Prabhu that we will take some responsibility for this movement. Responsibility does not mean that you do all those things which are pleasing to you. It may be sometimes doing the needful, what the movement needs. My spiritual master used to say, "Sab meetha bolte hain, koi zimmedari nahi leta." Very nice, we say all these nice things. But to take responsibility for the movement, it's very important. That we learn from Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur. Because Mahaprabhu instructed them, they did not fear in any way negative response coming from their congregation or the potential congregation. So therefore, finally, Ekadina pathe deke dui matoyala Mahadasyu praya dui Madhyapa Vishala. They saw two rogues, two gundas on the street. They were drunkard. Sei dui janar kota kaite apar tar nahi kore na papa nahi ar. We know whom we are talking about, right? Brajendranandan jai Sachi Suta hoila sei Balarama hoilo nitai. Dina hi no jatachilo harina me uddharilo tarasaki jagai madai. We're talking about Jagai and Madai here. So these two people are being introduced. Brahmana hoya madhya gomam sabakhan. Daka, churi, paragraha, dahe, sarvakhan. Everything they have done. The example that is given is Chitragupta had absolutely insufficient stationery to compile their sins. Maybe his hard drive also ran out of space. We can assume. So, because they were so busy in committing sinful activities. There's so much. Deyane na deya dekha bolaya kotala madhya mamsa bina ara nahi jaye kala. Somehow or the other they avoided royal punishment. I mean, there was, I guess, corruption in those days also. Some of them managed to avoid Sarkar. And then what happened was they did not pass a day without wine and meat. These are Brahmanas. How can Brahmanas eat meat? Oh, sorry, we are in Bengal. So, uh, I hope this part of the program brought by Krishna Prasad and Co. So, Duija Napat Hepadi, Gada Gadi Jai, Jahareje Pai say, Tahara Ki Lai. They would fight with everyone. They would roll on the street all the time, not in ecstasy, but ye bhi ecstasy hai. This is also ecstasy. In Hindi, we have this normal saying. Somebody says, you're in ecstasy, he'll say, nahi, aisi ki taisi. So it's like they were in aisi ki taisi mood. You roll on the street, and they would punch everybody, hit everybody, whoever they find. And sometimes they had affection for each other. They would, sometimes they would curse each other. All this they were doing. Sometimes they say, Nadiyara Viprayer Korila Jati Nash, Madhyara Vikhebe Kore Ashwas. So sometimes they would ruin the caste of Brahmanas. Sometimes they would say nice words to people. So very bewildering, huh? So this is not Vaishnava Kriya Mudra. This is Madhyar Kriya Mudra. So because of wine. Sarva Papa Shei Duir Sharire Janmila. Vaishnavera Ninda Papa Shabena Haila. So far, they have not committed any Vaishnava Aparadha. Very interesting, huh? They've crossed all the boxes. Killing, done. Eating meat, done. Intoxication, done. Taking others' property, done. Burning houses, done. Hitting people, done. Threatening people, done. Everything done. Vaishnava Aparadha? No, not done. Not yet. They didn't have an opportunity. But Vaishnavas are so merciful, they gave them that opportunity also. So here it is said, Ahar Nisha Madhya Pera Shange Range Thake Nahila Vaishnava Ninda Yai Sabe Pake. So then what happened? This he says, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur says, Madhya Pera Nishkriti Achai Ko Nakale Para Charcha Kera Gati Nahe Kabhu Bhale. So drunkard can also be delivered in the course of time. Like Srila Prabhupada says, if an alcoholic says that Krishna is the taste of alcohol, he is making some progress. Krishna, Prabhupada said, not that we have to test, but I mean, it's there. Even that is there. So, but here, what they are doing here, it's mentioned here that one who engages in blasphemy will never attain life. This is the example that we learned from Jagai Madai. And here it is mentioned, Shatrapadiya karo karo buddhinash, Nityananda ninda kare hobe sarvanash. That is what happened to them. They did ninda of Nityananda. So they watched from a distance Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu, but these people were busy punching each other. Because they say that this is basically Jaya Vijaya, who came as Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, who came as Ravana Kumbhakarna, who came as Shishupala Dandavaktra. Now this time they came to assist. They had already been delivered. They came to specifically assist Mahaprabhu in his pastimes. And Dui Jone Kila Kili Gala Gali Kare Nityananda Haridasa Deke Dhaki Dure. They saw from a distance. They are abusing each other, hitting each other. So Lokastan and Nityananda Jigyasa Apane Kono Jati Dui Jan Hena Mati Kene. Who are these two people? Oh, Krishna. It's 10:30, na? I thought it was 10:45. How much time do I have? No. How much time do I have to complete the lecture? I'm saying. Because it's already 10:30. Kushal Behar Prabhu? Where is Kushal Behar Prabhu? I'm threatening you with this. Emotional blackmail from the Vyasasan. How much time do I have? It's like that. I'll try and conclude by 10:45. So, sorry. Huh? Yeah. After 10:45, I don't care what he does. I'm so full of compassion for myself. So they asked, which caste do they believe? They are both Brahmanas. Koshai, Brahmana Duijan. They are both Brahmanas. But Divya Pita Mata, Divya Pita Mata, Mahakulita Utpan. They want good father, mother. They belong to very good family. And Ei Dui Gunavanta Pasharila Dharma. Janma Haite Ei Mata Karai Papa Karma. They've been doing sinful activities from a very, very long time. Since birth, they've been doing. So they've been rejected by relatives because they're drunkards, because they're sinful people. So Nityananda Prabhu mercifully contemplated how to deliver these two people. This is Jiver Daya. To choose the worst of the worst, the most fallen of the fallen, and try to deliver them. That is the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he says, Hena Papa Nahi Jaha Nakare Dui Jan, Daka Churi Madhyamam Sakare Bojan. They've done everything. Suni Nityananda Bada Karna Hridai. Duyera Uddhara Chinte Hoya Sadai. He thought, how can I deliver these people? Sometimes when you do Harinam Sankirtan on the streets, drunkards come. They try to dance. Have you seen that? Oh, Bengal, they don't drink, na? What Bengal does today, the others do tomorrow. That's what Prabhupada said. So if we are all drunkards, look whom we are following. So then the point is that people come sometimes in Harinam. We make them also sing and dance. It's nice. Sometimes drunkards, they buy Gita also. They give 500 rupee note for Gita. We can make use of their intoxication to double their service. Sometimes it helps. People pick up whole Chaitanya Charitamrita said, Bhagavatam said, like our new bhaktas in this marathon in Delhi. Our new bhaktas distributed 75,000 Mahabig books on the street. Just the new bhaktas. So many of them distributed whole sets of Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, everything. So you never know, maybe there's some few drunkards taking the book. But people are drunk with something. It's not always alcohol. They're drunk with ego, they're drunk with power, they're drunk with greed, they're drunk with malice. People are all drunk fundamentally. This material world is full of drunkards. So, Lukaye kore Prabhu apana prakash prabhavana deke loke kore upahas. The people who don't see the influence of the Supreme Lord, upahas, they make fun of him. The Lord secretly manifests himself. Lukaya kore Prabhu apana prakash. Secretly, he is Channa avatar, right? Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu is even more confidential. So therefore, they don't know who they are. These people are completely intoxicated. They don't know who they are. Do we know who we are? So does it mean we are also intoxicated? Yes. That's the point. That is Nityananda Prabhu's glory. We all are little Jagai Matas. They didn't know who they were intoxicated. We don't know who we are intoxicated with something else. And by Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, Mahaprabhu will deliver us. That's what happened. So let's cut to the chase. The first day they went to make them chant, and these people just chase them away. Haridasa Prabhu bole Shuno Mahashai, Tomare je icha she Prabhu ra nishchay. So he said, okay, you want to preach to them, fine. So then both of them went to Jagai Matai and told them. What did they tell them? Sadhulo kema na kare nikate na jao. Naga lapa ile pache paranaha rao. They will kill you. Don't go close to them. Please don't go. You hide. We hide inside our house and tremble. How can you dare approach them? We are so scared of them. And you are both sadhus. How can you go to these people? This is how Prabhupada always gives the example of Haridas Thakur, Jesus Christ, all these people, just to see how they take great risks to please the Supreme Lord, to preach His message. That is why Nachas tasman manusheshu kachin me pray kirtama bhavitanach me tasmad anya priyatoro bhuvi. To preach the Lord's message is the foremost qualification. that endears a person to the Supreme Lord. So these two have no respect for sannyasis. Right? That is why all devotees here should sometimes go and preach in the West or in difficult parts of India like Northeast and North Kerala, few places. Very difficult places to preach. It's very, here it's all bana banaya. You tell people about Lord Chaitanya, they know he is God. You tell about Krishna, at least people have some idea. But we go to places where people have no idea and they don't think. I remember, so very interesting. I was in a flight, it was flown by, I think, a Dutch pilot. So there was one lady walking with a child a little ahead. So he wanted to give that kid some juice. And he saw me and said, "Is that your child?" So I didn't know what to tell him. So I said, "Do you really think so?" So that poor lady was sporting. She understood that this person doesn't. So people don't understand who is a sadhu. So Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur went to them saying that Toma Sabha Lagya Krishna Avatar. Heno Krishna Bhaja Sabha Chada Anachar. Chadi Anachar. No? So give up all these Anachar and please accept Krishna's name. So to cut to the chase, they said, "Catch them, catch them. Dharo, dharo, Bali. Done dhari bare jai." They went after them. And Nityananda Prabhu and they were too fat, so they could not chase Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur. Now this is a very important teaching for many devotees. If you are chased by wrong people, it is nice to have less faith so that you can run away. So Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, they explained to Mahaprabhu the whole situation. So they were told by Jagai Madai shouted, "Who are you? Who are you?" The next time they went. Second time they went to Jagai Madai. "Kere kere boli dake Jagai Madai." Nityananda bolen, "Prabhu Ribadi jai, I am going to the Lord's house." Madhyere Bikhepa bole, "Kiba nama tora." Nityananda bole, "Avaduta nama mora." Haribol. Nityananda Prabhu says, "I am Avadut." Of course he is. And then Nityananda Prabhu spoke to them. It's like his Leela. He thought he will deliver them. Uddhariba dui jan hene ache mone ateva nishay aila sheistane. He went there again. So when he heard the word Avadut, Madai became very, very angry. Marila prabhura shire mota ki tuliya. He hit him with a clay pot. And it red and blood flowed from the wound. Phutila mutha ki shire rakta pade dhare Nityananda Mahaprabhu Govinda sanare. He remembered Govinda even at that time. Like Christ our Lord said, "Father, my Lord, forgive them for they know not what they do." So Mahaprabhu again remembered Govinda. That was his mood. So then they say, Jagai felt compassionate between the two. Jagai felt compassionate. He stopped Madhai when he was trying to hit him again. He said, "Keno hena korile nirdaya tumi drida deshantari mariya ki hoiba tumi bada." What will you gain by beating an outsider, deshantari? There's no point, don't beat him. It's okay if we fight with each other, you can hit me. But he's from somewhere else, why are you beating him? And then he says, "Eda avadute napmari ara sannyasi mariya kona bhalava tumara." By beating a sannyasi, what good will you get? Jagai is telling Madai. So inside all of us, there is a good dog and a bad dog, Bhakti Tirth Maharaj says. It is up to us which dog we want to feed. Similarly, inside us, there are both Jagai and Madai. Jagai and Madai, both are drunkards, but relatively Jagai was better. So we are not really Shuddha Bhaktas in any case. Many of us are not. So there is Jagai and Madai inside us, and for every Madai who does unmentionable crimes, there is a Jagai who will wake him up. So it's important to us which of them we want to associate with. And Paya Charana Dhana Lakshmira Jivan Dharila Jagai Jena Amulya Ratan. So Vishwambar was suddenly there when he came to know that they were both hit. So, it's mentioned, Jaga ere bara shuni Vaishnava mandala jaya jaya hari dhoni korila shakal. Jaga was given a special benediction. What was the benediction? Jaga er bole Krishna kripa karu tore Nityananda rakhi aki nili tu nimore. So Jagai protected me, Nityananda said. When you protected Nityananda Prabhu, it's just like we may be all rascals, but when we serve the spiritual master, he will tell Krishna, this devotee has a lot of problems, but he helped me in my mission to serve your holy name. Then Krishna takes care. Similarly, when Nityananda Prabhu recommended Jagai, look, he helped me. Immediately, what happened? Ye abhishta chitte deka taha tu mimaga aji haite hau tora prema bhakti labha. Mahaprabhu gave him love of Godhead. And then Jagai held the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Eka jiva dui deha Jagai madai. Eka punya, eka papa. Vaishe eka thai. One was pious, one was sinful. You see, this is a very important point. It's not like good dog, bad dog alone. There is a Jagai Mada inside us. हमारे ऊपर है कि हम किसको जगाएं. अपने अंदर के जगाए को जगाएं. We should wake the pious in us. Even we may be involved in sinful activities, but try our best consciously to try and even if we get a small glimmer of Krishna conscious activity, उसको फूक के बड़ा करना चाहिए. We should blow it and kindle it and stoke the fire and make it blaze through the fire of bhakti. So we've seen how Nityananda Prabhu has many moods. There are hundreds of pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu. There. You can, of course, the next speaker is going to be more nectarian than me. I have given you neem. He will give you some madhu. But I just want to conclude with one bhajan. We can all sing together. Yeah. Should we have a tabartop bhajan or a soft bhajan? Okay. दो ताल कौन बजाएगा? दो ताल. Okay. ठीक है, मैं करता हूँ. नदिया गोद्र में नित्यानंद महाजन पति अच्छे न महट जीवेर कारण. नदिया गोद्र में नित्यानंद महाजन पति अच्छे न महट जीवेर कारण. श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन. श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन. प्रभुर आज्ञाय भाई मागिए भिका. बोलो कृष्ण भजो कृष्ण करो कृष्ण शिका. बोलो कृष्ण भजो कृष्ण करो कृष्ण शिका. नदिया गोद्र में नित्यानंद महाजन पति अच्छे न महट जीवेर कारण. अपराध सुना है लोह कृष्ण नाम. अपराध सुना है लोह कृष्ण नाम. कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण. कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण. नदिया नदिया गोद्र में नित्यानंद महाजन पति अचना महट जीव रे कारण कृष्णेर संसार करी छाड़िया नाचार कृष्णेर संसार करो छाड़िया नाचार जीवे दया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म सार जीवे दया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म सार नदिया नदिया गोद्र में नित्यानंद महाजन पति अचे नाम हट जीव रे कारण नदिया नदिया गोद्र में नित्यानंद महाजन पति अचे नाम हट जीव रे कारण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम जय एक चक्र धाम जय एक चक्र धाम जय एक चक्र धाम जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद So born as the son of Hadai, Pandit and Padmavati in Ekachakra, the Supreme Lord Sri Balaram, Nityananda Prabhu, delivered all the conditioned souls, continues to deliver all the conditioned souls, and will deliver all the conditioned souls. The only condition is for the conditioned soul to not have any condition in surrendering to him. श्रीमान नित्यानंद प्रभु आविर्भाव तिथि महामहोत्सव की जगत गुरु शील प्रभुपाद की निदाई निदाई गौर सीतानाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। Thank you for the mridangas and the mic. His Grace Kushal